Sick.
What excites you about the future of SEO?
Well, I guess, we've got to kind of conceptualize the future of SEO, right? Are we talking about way into the future where AI robots are hunting us down with machine guns based on the algorithms we're trying to exploit?
You broke Google's law.
We broke Google's law, and there are new overlords. You can go so far into this, and people love to put the tinfoil hat on and really dive in. But I think in the near future, what I'm most excited about is the fact that on a personal level, we've got phenomenal networks based on backlinks that are going to stand the test of time. As of right now, I feel overly confident in an ability to use those networks to really gain some momentum in the SERPs with a bunch of different assets that we're starting to blow out. And so I think you guys and girls should be just as excited about the future of SEO, because if you're in it now, if you're paying attention to these things, then you're probably more on the technical side, even if you don't even know that you're on the more technical side of SEO. You're manipulating things that a lot of these white hat SEOs just don't really quite understand. And so you've got a competitive edge right now, where if you stick with it, you're going to be able to really capitalize on what you do as an SEO in the near future. So for me, I would say the future of SEO looks really bright in aspects to how we're currently building and doing things over here. So I'm excited just about continual growth. I've been in this, I think 6-7 years now, and every year I feel like things have gotten more technical. I've definitely gone through some ebbs and flows where, sometimes things seem pretty shaky, especially like if we're talking about back when I was exclusively building PBN networks and stuff like that. But having an ability to continually run with that ebb and flow is what makes you a good SEO, or somebody that's going to stand the test of time in the future of SEO. So if you pay attention to what's going on with a rational mindset, you're going to be able to analyze, any kind of hypotheses, and then test, and if you get good results, then you'll be able to scale alongside that knowledge. So it's just an ongoing educational process with a good amount of money involved. So that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm excited. I mean, it's definitely getting more complex over time, and I don't know how that's going to pan out with, so it's basically going to, it's getting more.
Talk AI?
No.
Okay.
It's getting, well, I mean, that's part of it, but the fact that it's getting more complex over the time, and the fact that Google is kind of transitioning towards higher authority over time, means that basically the barriers for entry for doing business online are rising. So I just don't know how it's going to pan out, because, as far as if you're doing local SEO or even affiliate SEO, so basically the barriers for local companies or even someone doing an affiliate site are going to rise over time. So I just don't know how that's going to, pan out in the end. Are SEOs going to gravitate just towards larger companies only? Or are we going to be able to keep up with it in a way that we can, even though the barriers for entry are rising, especially if you're following all the rules exactly, if we'll still be able to have an extreme advantage or not? So I guess I'm excited just to see how that plays out. I'm also excited because as time moves forward, I just feel like the internet's going to become even more important, right? And so I think people are just now kind of starting to realize how absurd the amount of power that Google has, or, a lot of the big tech giants, Google, Facebook in particular. But I mean, really Google. And, it's kind of exciting in that we have, we're sitting here with our, like we have the pulse of this thing, and as it moves forward, we're going to be on the forefront of, I don't know, just the connection between basically our tech overlords and the general population. And we're going to see how it all plays out between these two forces. And hopefully in the future, we'll still be able to kind of be these Robin Hood figures where we, where we can lower that barrier of entry for the normal guy that doesn't have like a huge company that's going to be able to deal with the larger barriers and more authority and more complex algorithms and all that. Yeah, it's not really something I'm excited about. I guess I'm very interested to see how it plays out. Yeah.
Good. That's probably good.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be an interesting industry, to say the least.
To those of you that are like, the future of SEO means that all your gray hat and black hat tactics are, they're done for. In another 2 years, you're over with. Well, I've been hearing that shit since I got started in SEO. And even the company that I worked for before I started off on my own, that sold for somewhere around $320 million, they were ordering links to a very entry-level extent, but, they were doing that as well. So it's always been something that I keep hearing from people, and it seems like the naysayers are the ones that just sit on their ass and they're really not doing much of anything. Sorry to put it that way, but it's true. If you are somebody that talks about what's going to happen in the future while not even putting any foot forward towards any kind of, testing or goal set, then in my opinion, it's just like a mindset that says you're really not going to produce much, period. So if you find it fun to educate yourself on these variables that help you manipulate search engine rankings, then just, it's going to keep being fun because there's a never-ending stream of things that are going to constantly change and keep you interested in this industry, and it's not going anywhere.
If you just want a job where you can do the same thing over and over, though, you should probably change careers.
For sure. You have,
it's not SEO is not going to stop changing. It's it's going to be a continual process.
What would you say is, for a newer SEO, a comparable job description in how that career works in comparison, like an analogy for SEO? I always said lawyer.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that, business laws changing over time.
Right, so whatever it is, you've got to continually stay on top of what is being changed.
I mean,
right?
Honestly, don't take it the wrong way, but I feel like a good comparison would be like the black market for drugs.
Yeah, I mean, it's a business model. Yes, why not?
Because there's no set way to learn SEO.
Right.
It's all in the dark,
and
it's kind of like the Wild West. There's no real regulation. There's there's the law of what you're supposed to do, but there's no. I mean, there's just
not real laws, right? We're talking
Google's
about terms of service.
Google's rules. Yeah, but overall, it's just so easy to get around the rules, and just the fact that there's no solid framework of anything. Things are always changing, and the power dynamics are constantly shifting, and I don't know, something kind of like black market-ish, I think, is a good way.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
It's fast moving, and if you don't watch out for yourself, you're gonna get killed. You have to keep evolving. You have to stay on your toes.
Narcos SEO edition.
You just you can't just sit back and chill, right?
Man, that'd be a sick podcast to get somebody in the dark hat world that can cover their face up and just tell us the ins and outs of manipulating SEO for true dark hat stuff.
I feel like our answer to this question is probably wildly different from other people, that gurus or whatever that would answer.
But see, that's the point, though. We spend so much time in this, the future it's something we're going to be involved in, right? So we've already dedicated ourselves to that fact, so might as well be somewhat excited about it. At least ready for some future volatility.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to check the description below for links to our blog for more info on this topic, along with a bunch of other cool stuff like case studies, our Facebook community, and our link building services. And like always, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell if you enjoyed the video. Thanks and happy ranking.